Full-blown panic. And Joe Biden talking about black jobs. I know. Now, the Biden campaign is sinking, and I am feasting. I'm feasting like Bakura, you know? Have you ever seen the anime series Yu-Gi-Oh! Way back in the day when I was a young kid? There was a scene where Bakura eats a bloody steak, and that's how I am feasting off the demise of the Democrats, the liberals, the vote blue, no matter who, because they're going to have to come to terms with just how crappy Joe Biden is. And no, that's not his diapers. It's overall the whole situation for Democrats. It's abundantly clear that Joe Biden is going to lose this election cycle. And if he does win, it'll be by the skin of his teeth. That's it. There won't be an overall massive mandate because there is no mandate for Joe Biden. But he is able to quickly tell you about black jobs. Now, the way he's saying this, it's trying to sound motivational. But everything that Joe Biden says now, it's going to be ridiculed. People are going to make fun of him, as they should.
Well, I'm serious. Go figure. From a guy who spread the birth as a lie against Barack Obama, saying he wasn't born in America and he wasn't a U.S. citizen. Of course, here's what he thinks of black jobs. I love his phrase, black jobs. It tells a lot about the man and about his character. Folks, I know what a black job is. It's a vice president of the United States.
You know, I get what he's trying to say, but the way he worded it, it just doesn't sound good because it's the same Joe Biden who is against busing and desegregation. This is the same Joe Biden who didn't want his white kids to be with black kids. Yes, the same Joe Biden who was against the civil rights movement. He was against busing and desegregation. Jesus Christ, the same Joe Biden wrote the crime bill. And yet now he's up there speaking at the NAACP, talking about black jobs, and says, hey, it's the vice president of the United States. Joe, you're the last person to be talking about black issues, man. I almost forgot. Denise, sorry about that. Never forget that Joe Biden once said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Yeah, he wrote that. He said that. That's the man who did it.
From a guy who spread the birth as a lie against Barack Obama, saying he wasn't born in America and he wasn't a U.S. citizen. Of course, here's what he thinks of black jobs. I love his phrase, black jobs. It tells a lot about the man and about his character. Folks, I know what a black job is. It's a vice president of the United States. I know what a black job is. The first black president in American history, Barack Obama.
You had to bring up Obama, too. Forever intertwined.
Well, I'm serious.
Yeah, we know you're serious, buddy. But see, even all that, anything that Biden says is going to be met with ridicule. And this is causing a big panic. Now, yes, I did bring up the Bakura reference because, you know, I actually found some wonderful, good old GIFs, however which way you want to call it, of Bakura feasting on that bloody steak. And you know what? Just seeing the panic, the fear in CNN's voice, I feast on it too. This is soothing my soul because there is a potential in which Joe Biden is going to get his teeth kicked in. And this map right here shows what Biden won in the 2020 election cycle. So let's play this one.
But this is our current CNN projection of where we are now. And look at this. If Donald Trump won what we have here, dark red states, solid Republican, light red states, leaning Republican. If he won just those right there, he would already have the path to 270. He would have 272 electoral votes. Look what is different. We have Wisconsin as a toss-up. We have Pennsylvania as a toss-up, two critical states for Joe Biden. Michigan right now, another critical state for Biden, leaning Republican. Georgia, a state Biden flipped, leaning Republican. Arizona, a toss-up state. That was a state Biden flipped. Nevada, a state he won, leaning Republican. This is the dire strait for Joe Biden right now on the first night of the Republican convention. Tomorrow is 16 weeks to Election Day. 16 weeks from tomorrow, we count the votes. It is tough to change a map like this in that amount of time. And here's why Democrats are so worried, why so many Democrats are saying, Mr. President, please reconsider and get out of this race. Because right now, Trump is leading here. And Trump is leading here, narrowly, but he's ahead in those states.
You could hear the fear. I hear fear in your voice. I hear people shaking. I hear people crying. And the thing is, when I look at this map, I can't help but think way back in 2020, myself and Daniel, we said that this could potentially happen. And the only way this could be avoided is if the Democrats really have follow through and start implementing progressive policies and making people's lives better. There was an opportunity. Hell, Barack Obama had a supermajority. There was a lot they could have done in theory. In theory, there was an open window that they closed purposely. Just like Bernie the Cuck Sanders. He could have had a real political movement, but he chose not to because he's a cuck. He's spineless. He's nutless. He's heartless. He's got no soul. He's got no heart. I mean, let's face it. The Democrats are not fighters. And when we said this, myself and Daniel were ridiculed, removed, banned, shadow banned, censored, all that kind of stuff. We lost many a good friends because of how we broke down how 2020 and the aftermath of it would play out if the Democrats didn't get their act together. And this map is proving us to be factually correct. Good luck, Democrats. Good luck, liberals. You gave a middle finger to progressives and independents, and all we wanted was just a better future, actually real accountability, but that was a bridge too far, and now you're on your own. And I say this because look at the voter turnout throughout the entire Democratic primary, and we will be getting to the primary very soon, my lovelies.
Trump is leading here. That's 312 electoral votes. Trump is leading in
Kurt Boss, Biden don't surf.
This Nebraska congressional district. Let me change it that way. Nebraska does it by congressional district. That's 313 electoral votes. And Democrats are warning that Trump may not be well ahead. It may still be margin of error. It might be a tie. But right now, Trump is competitive here. That's blue Virginia. That's blue New Hampshire. So the warnings to the White House are Donald Trump could conceivably, if the current dynamics in the race hold, get 330 or more electoral votes. That's what they believe.
That's what they believe. They do. But here, again, you have these same politicians, these same people, you know, who promoted this myth that Joe Biden was going to be better and return the soul back to America. How can you return something if it never existed, right? Because corporate media now is in a little bit of a quandary. Even Joy Reid is trying to right now defend everything that they have said so far. And remember, folks, this primary that was supposed to take place for the Democrats, well, it was non-existent. It was mediocre. You had Dean Phillips. You had at one point RFK Jr. in it. You had Marianne Williamson and Fat Tony, a.k.a. Cenk Uygur. You had all those people there. All of them were there. And that primary was mediocre, lackluster. And yet, corporate media is in its own reality.
The Rules Committee of the Democratic Party sent out this note to its membership today talking about why they're doing this virtual vote. It is not a scheme to rig the primary for the guy who already won the primary, Joe Biden. They lay out the fact that they are concerned that Republican election officials in states, even states like Ohio, that ostensibly change their rules to allow the later certifications to say you can be on the ballot even if you passed our original deadline like in June. Yep. Ohio did that. But their concern is they signed that law, but that there are still threats out there from Republican officials who are saying, yeah, but we may still not allow Joe Biden on our ballot.
Oh, well, gee, weren't you guys jumping up and down like horny kangaroos, all happy that Trump could potentially be kicked off of various states and their ballots, right? You know, the thing is, you know, It's called karma. You know, you put stuff out there, treat people how you want to be treated. Should it come as no surprise that Democrats and Republicans played this stupid game, which is why, again, I advocate for the abolition of all political parties and getting money out of politics. But this is the mental gymnastics that corporate media has been reduced down to. I swear, on election night, if Trump wins, and it's probably the most likely scenario to happen, I can't see how anything else is going to transpire. But if in the scenario Trump wins, can you imagine just the amount of mental gymnastics these pundits and these vote blue no matter who influencers are going to have to do to really try and make themselves to be okay? Because I could see a lot of people collectively having breakdowns, or either that, just fully becoming disconnected from reality. It'll be funny to watch. It'll be sad, but funny to watch at the same time, because these are not serious people, especially for those who have really connected themselves to the Democrat rotten apple cart.
And there are multiple states in which they're concerned about litigation. So to avoid litigation, that is part of the reason they want to do it virtually, because they don't trust at this point Republican officials in states that they have control over to even do the basic thing of putting Joe Biden's name on the ballot. So that's the level of distrust that you're seeing even on the Democratic side in Republicans' belief in the whole idea that there should be elections, the whole idea that Democrats have any right to ever be in power.
Now, I want to pull up this message here. Torwin writes, I like how the DNC is suing RFK Jr. in multiple states to keep him off the ballot. Absolutely. Look, I could have my disagreements with RFK Jr., but I believe that him, Dr. Cornel West, even though as pathetic as his campaign is, Dr. Jill Stein, Chase Oliver, all of them, including Biden and Trump, have a right to be on the ballot. When you play stupid games like this, then you create an environment in which, well, anybody can be kicked off the ballot. But see, the thing is now, there's a panic. Like I said before, a lot of Democrats, and I don't know how the DNC convention is going to play out. And this is something that all of us in independent media are going to have to really keep our ears to the ground. That means all of us. So if my colleagues of RBN, INN, Do Dissidents, Jimmy Dore, everybody else that's watching, even if you're libertarian or conservative, you're going to be covering the DNC convention, there's a good chance that not only will a lot of us not be able to get inside, but this thing's going to happen, and it's going to be so controlled and so pampered and so behind a shield wall that we're still going to be scrambling out overall what the story will be, because this is a tale of a party that's split in two, because there's a power play right now to ram Biden through the nomination, because they're trying to get Biden to be the nominee. So let's go ahead and play this video here first. From Case Study QB. Be sure to follow him on Twitter.
A group of House Democrats wants the Democratic National Committee to delay its virtual roll call to select the party's nominee for president. The DNC plans to hold the vote as early as July 21st. That's coming up. The committee moved up the roll call back in May to ensure the party meets Ohio's deadline to certify the presidential ticket. However, lawmakers in Ohio have since changed that deadline, pushing it beyond the date of next month's DNC. Now, more than 20 Democrats have signed a letter saying the DNC's early virtual roll call is not necessary. NBC News obtained a copy of that letter. In it, lawmakers cite the growing concerns over the president's campaign and whether he should drop out.
And it's too late to drop out. It is beyond too late to drop out. After what happened over the weekend was the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, it's very clear that Trump got a huge boost. Now, with that, who in their right mind would want to replace Biden to face off against the juggernaut that Trump got of support? Nobody does. They're going to have to wait another 4 years, 2028, for some new challenger to throw their hat in the ring for the White House. No serious politician would want to fill in Biden's shoes. And I think at this point, the Democrats are going to take an L and go in for Biden. But yet you have many people here who are still holding out the audacity of hope, because, again, you have two sides. You have Democrats saying, let's go in with Biden. If we win, we win. If we lose, then we have the next election cycle in 2028 where we don't have an old dog crapping in his diapers. Or you have people saying, let's get another candidate to beat Trump. The DNC convention will be very interesting to see, but they want it to be as controlled and safe as possible, For far too long, there's been activists and organizers and people across the political spectrum criticizing the Democrats. And with Biden's epic fail, not only at the first debate, not only was his interview with George Snuffleupagus, not only was his big boy press conference, but everything afterwards, everybody's commenting on Biden's health. Now, we all knew this. We here at Hard Lens Media knew this for a very long time, and we called it out, but we were told that we were wrong, and we got censored for it. Wrongly so.
Writing this, prematurely shutting down any possible change in the Democratic ticket through an unnecessary and unprecedented virtual roll call in the days ahead is a terrible idea. The DNC is now pushing back on the claims that the virtual roll call was moved up to give Biden an advantage, explaining in a statement that the change was made to protect democracy, writing, "We certainly are not going to leave the fate of this election in the hands of MAGA Republicans in Ohio that have tried to keep President Biden off the general election ballot."
And what a shame, Democrats, because there's been recent reports of this here as well. There was an interview that Biden did with Lester Holt where Biden said he rejects an extra debate. So there's another debate set in September. So if Biden secures a nomination process, as we all know, what's the month that comes after August? September. And that's when the second debate will be taking place. But he was asked if he would do an extra debate, another one for redemption, because redemption is key. U.S. President Joe Biden has turned down Donald Trump's offer for him to redeem himself after his disastrous performance in their first televised debate last month by holding another unscheduled face-off. Biden has faced increasing calls to withdraw from his presidential race after he appeared frail and confused during the June 27th debate against Trump. RT, you're being far too generous. He was frail. He was weak. He was impotent, slow of the mind, and everything else. According to the New York Times, Democratic donors have been withholding, $90 million in donations. Hey, Democrat donors, listen, me and my friends and my audience, give us your money. We know how to run it better than you. In order to persuade the party to replace the 81-year-old president on the ticket. Biden, however, has insisted that he's staying in the race, to which I have to say, Deneen Grant is right. I think the Democrats have thrown in the towel. Save your money. Save yourself the embarrassment. But here's Joe Biden himself responding to that question.
Mr. Trump has said he's giving you a chance to redeem yourself, basically the idea of engaging in another debate.
We're going to have another debate.
Yeah, you're going to have one in September that's on the books. Would you be open to doing one in the next few weeks?
I'm going to debate him when we agreed to debate, and I'm going to debate him in September.
But if the opportunity came up to do one between now and then, is there a sense of wanting to get back on the horse?
I'm on the horse. Where have you been? I've done 22 major events with thousands of people.
22 major events. Each of them, you're looking like this. Where am I? I'm Joe Biden and somebody crapped my pants. Hunter Biden's the smartest guy I know. Where's the booger sugar, man? He's on the horse, folks.
Where have you been? I've done 22 major events with thousands of people, overwhelming crowds, a lot happening. I'm on the horse. What I'm doing is going out and demonstrating to the American people that I have command of all my faculties, that I don't need notes, I don't need teleprompter. I can go out and answer any questions at all. And I stood there when NATO was in town. I stood there for an hour.
Mr. Trump has said.
But we have to remember, the reason why Biden has such an ego is because corporate media protected him. Corporate media portrayed him as somebody who is more competent. And I like the fact that they are stuck with us. They cannot dig their way out. And this is their own fault. And for that, all what we can do is laugh at them. Laugh at them as they're going to have to somehow fix their lie and lie again to the American people. But when you lie so much, the American people can't trust you. Because here's the thing. We watch the news now to find out what they're lying about, what is being hidden. It's not people like Rachel Maddow or anybody else, those who are part of the BSDNC clique or the CNN clique. It doesn't matter what they say. We have to listen to what they say so we can hear what they're lying about. And the media as a whole lied about the competency of Joe Biden. They protected him. They play a huge role. And I love it when they do get called out.
Hi, y'all. I was just wondering, you guys refused to report on the incompetence of Joe Biden, and I was just wondering if you guys were told not to report on that, or if you guys really were that ignorant. The entire American public, for some reason, was able to see that Joe Biden was grossly incompetent and that he's been in cognitive decline for a long time. However, you guys just started reporting this. Dana, can I ask you about this? Dana, you're a respected reporter. Why is it that you guys just started to report on the decline of Joe Biden? Don't you feel like you have a responsibility to the public not to lie to them about the cognitive decline of Joe Biden? Sir, I'm here with CNN. I can't get very close to them because their security guard is blocking me. But we've got Jake Tapper here. We've got Chris Wallace. We also have Dana Bash. Now, I've been asking them why they have been lying to the American public.
They were paid. They were paid money. All right. That the guy knocking the door was, hey, here's your script to say to the plebs. All right. There you go. Read it, learn it, love it, bye. That's what they did.
About the mental decline of Joe Biden. None of you guys would like to respond to that at all? No? Dana, you're a very respected journalist. Jake, not so much respected, but people listen to you still.
Look, I don't know, man. I think somebody just captured my heart, but there you go. Hold on.
Respected journalist. Jake, not so much respected, but people listen to you still. Would any of you guys like to respond to Joe Biden's cognitive decline and why you guys lied to the American people about it for so long? Can you please take your hands off of it? So there you guys go. That's the media. They refuse to answer the questions of the American people.
And they won't, because that's not their job. The real job of corporate media is to follow orders. Follow orders from the corporate donors. Do as they say and follow the orders. That's how corporate media operates. That's their entire function. That's their goal.